This time on Legacy 4x4, we spend $2 grand at the steel yard, and we're going to use that to build a roll cage for the Dodge, and we're going to do it without hurting ourselves.
Roll cage design can actually be very simple if you just take your time and think through things. At its basic core, you really just want to remember two things. Minimize the number of bends you do, and then add triangles everywhere.
Lots of triangles everywhere.
Triangles are the base support of any kind of stable, sturdy roll cage, and they provide all of the actual strength in the cage.
He's got an engineering degree, trust him.
So, for Matt's Exo cage, we're actually going to start with the back hoop. It's going to tie in to the back of these rock sliders that we just finished making, and the main hoop is going to go over the cab to the other side of the rock sliders. You need some kind of main hoop or starting point to build the entire rest of the cage off of. So this is going to get tied into the frame in more places than just this, but we need a starting point, and we're going to start with that first big main hoop that goes over the entire cab of this Dodge.
Alright, so we're going to get right into it. We're going to start measuring out this C-pillar. It's really as simple as measuring, taking rough guesses, taking that over to BenTech. We have the pleasure of working with BenTech Pro because he bought it, I didn't. So we're going to be able to design it up on the computer, print it out, put it right on the Rogue Fab, and get nice precise bends that are repeatable, which is huge. We went on the BenTech. This is what it gives you. Nice big printouts. All you do is draw it up. It literally takes 2 minutes. We have plenty of videos on this already using BenTech Pro. It tells you where to put the bends from the start of each pipe, which order to bend it in, and each degree, so makes it super simple. We're gonna move on to the Rogue Fab bender, and we're gonna bend this C-pillar up, and then we're gonna install it.
Alright, so Matt was on the roof there. He was just providing that downward force to make sure that this tube fit perfectly flush against the top of these rock sliders down there. There's obviously, every time you do a little bit of tube work, there's always a little bit of like pressing or ratcheting or pulling things together to get that perfectly tight fit before you move on to final welding.
He's an engineer. Anyways, it's getting dark. We're gonna knock out those other final welds on the other side of the C-pillar, finish it up, and then we're gonna come back in the morning and knock the rest out.
Ice and a heart made of stone, but she keeps me alive. She's the beast in my bones. She gets everything she wants when she gets.
Alright, Jake's on the roof, welding in that U-hoop. That's where we're at right now. So this has been a really, simple project, trying to get everything in place. But we're making progress. There's a small amount of gaps we have to fill in this one up there, but that's fine. That's mostly just spring back, not too worried about it. In order to connect that through tubing bed I made, it's really cheap, and I'm not worried about anything and protecting anything in the bed. That's why I don't care that it's through tubing. We just put a nice piece of 3 by like 67 inches, 1/8 inch steel, stitch welded those on, and that's how that looks. It just adds a little bit. We could have dimple dyed it, we just don't think we need to. But yeah, Jake always gets the worst positions.
In my bones. She gets everything she wants when she gets me alone, like it's nothing. She got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit. She got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
Alright, so let's talk design real quick of these B-pillars and whole side area. So we're actually going to make the doors in-op. So they look good, but we're just going to Dukes or Hazzard our way in and out, just in terms of safety and being able to make tube look not, funky with unsymmetrical lines and stuff, trying to make the door be able to op. So doors are going to become in-op.
She got
As you can see, we managed to get the B pillar, that whole, whole geometry looking configuration over there with all those triangles. What he's welding in right now is just a grab bar. That's not for any structure. We're just kind of take up that negative space and add a little grab bar there. And then, we got the rest of the B pillar, which is all those triangles, horizontal bar, and then A pillar, which is going to go up, goes all the way to the rooftop halo. And then we have a windshield. Our windshield cage is started. We just tacked it in. We're going to take that on tomorrow morning when we have the time. So Kaiser's pretty tired, so Kaiser, you going to tell everyone good night? Ma'am. Oh, tell them good night. She says see you tomorrow. All right. Good morning. I went ahead and worked a little bit in the morning before Jake got up, trying to knock some things out. Windshield hoop got put in. I put the interior windshield support in. And I also did this front hoop for the front of the Dodge where the winch is going to mount to, and it's going to be our central mounting point for linking the back of the cage to the front of the cage, as well as winch points and, just more support. So here's how the front turned out. Don't mind that weld on the side as well as the weld on the other side. That's going to be the point where there's going to be an apex to the rest of the tube work in the cage. All I did for this rectangle is make the rectangle, and then I used 2 little J gussets that go into the lower radiator support, the cross member of the frame, and it comes right up. I'm reusing my old winch plate. As you can see, it came off the original bumper. That's all going to stay. That's going to actually become gusset. That's going to go to this tube. It fits in almost perfectly, and then you can get right under it and gusset to the tube. So that's how that's going to work. Alright guys, so doing the finishing touches here. All we're going to do, Jake, you want to show them the little angle? All we're going to do is start adding all these little small triangulation pieces to support some of the joints. Not going to be much, so in lieu of a time lapse, we're just going to knock these out, and we'll show you the finished product when we get done painting it and welding it. See you guys in a few hours. Alright, good morning. It rained last night, so I took a while to get out here and, finish cleaning up the windshield from all the splatter and stuff, a little bit of acetone, but we're sitting nice and pretty now, and here's the final product. Like I said, cage on the side, windshield cage, front bumper. I really like the way that front bumper turned out. It's like a little bull nose to me. I think that looks awesome, and it really does remind me of the stub nose Commandos. So that's kind of really cool. Really like how the design turned out. Like I said, it's not symmetrical by any means, but I think that's more my style, really. Those simple cages with a bunch of symmetry and just like 2 parallel ladder bars going up the extended cab. Those are cool, but this is more my style. This front apex of the A pillar is my favorite part. I think that just looks awesome. Back B pillar, also not symmetrical. It's got a nice little arrow formation with that little grab bar so you can slide yourself in. The rear of it looks really cool from behind. Like I said, that's how the rear of it looks. It's gonna look really nice when it's stanced out on those bead locks. Coming around to the other side, it looks the same on both sides. But yeah, guys, that's it for that one. That's the EXO cage for the Dodge. But yeah, a lot more is coming on this Dodge. Super excited for its future, and see you guys next time.